Hello and welcome to Dad Got This. We're into the tough questions like, am I capable of grilling a French lamb rack on my Kamado Joe Joe Classic III? And what does a sheep in Star Wars sound like? That second one's easy. They go, bah. This video is brought to you by our good folks at Kamado Joe, who sent me this grill, and I have been trying to learn how to use it. Been doing pretty good, getting some pretty good cooks out of it. It's honestly become one of my favorite grills to cook on. Just that charcoal flavor, it's tough to beat. So today I'm gonna cook one of my favorite foods and one of my kiddos' favorite foods, lamb. We're gonna do a rosemary crusted lamb rack with a creamy horseradish sauce. This should be a pretty simple cook. Let's get to it. For today's cook, we're gonna use a Frenched lamb rack from Wild Fork. I don't feel like Frenching a lamb rack, and they did it. That sounds weird. Thank you, Wild Fork, for providing this lamb. This is a 1.89 pound Frenched Australian grass-fed lamb rack. Dry it off. Always pat your meat dry. That comes out of one of these cryo bags, especially because we are gonna actually sear this first. So we want a nice dry surface. This guy looks pretty good. I think the only thing I'm gonna do is there's a little bit of like silver skin right here. So I'm just gonna remove that. The rest looks like it's fat. I don't wanna remove the fat, but this chunk of silver skin right here, I think we should get rid of. I haven't cooked a lot of French lamb rack like this, so I'm not sure if this is the proper way to do it, but this seems like silver skin is bad, we don't want it, but I don't want to take meat away, which is underneath that fat. I want to leave that fat. I just think we'll get a better eating experience with this bit gone. Good enough for me. First thing I'm going to do is coat this liberally with some high heat avocado oil. Now I think I want to keep this membrane because that's what's going to hold it together. We are going to keep this seasoning really simple. We're going to use dad dust, some sea salt, some black pepper, and some fresh rosemary. Let's hit it up with the salt first. This is not a very big piece of meat, so I don't want to go too heavy on this salt. You can always add a little at the end if need be. Dad dust is 50% granulated onion, 50% granulated garlic, splash of MSG. If you can't find MSG, go ahead and use accent. It was a great tip by one of my viewers that the accent flavor or seasoning in your grocery store is basically MSG. And a little bit of 16 mesh black pepper. I don't want to do too much because this is not going to be on there that long to get a bark. This is going to be a quick cook. But I do want a little bit of peppery flavor. This is some fresh rosemary from my wife's garden. It's best to use fresh if you can get your hands on it. It's just going to come out so much better. You don't want the stems, so just kind of run your fingers down the end, pick them off. You want to kind of get these small. Rosemary is a hard herb. It can be a little bit tough if you don't break it down first. So you really want to kind of get this guy small. That should do. And then that looks perfect to me. We're gonna go stick this in the fridge uncovered for a little while we get the grill set up. Ideally, you should do this overnight. Lamb is pretty delicate, and we're only gonna wanna take this up to 145 degrees Fahrenheit. So, smoking it and whatnot, I think I'm gonna skip that step for this one. I just wanna go for some nice grilled flavor. So we're gonna set our Kamado up for 2-zone cooking. We'll hit it off with a really hot sear, set it off to the side, and let it come up to temp. Now, we won't pull it at 145. That would be a big mistake. We'll talk about that in a minute. So let's set up our grill now. There we go. I think that should be a good setup where we're nice and high and far away for our final slow cook, but we're really close, so we should get a really nice sear. We're gonna let this thing come up to screaming hot. I'm guessing like 15 minutes of preheat, so I'll just wait. 15 minutes and we are screaming past 400, and that's at the top of the dome, which means closer to that grate, it is screaming hot. Let's sear this sucker. As you can see, the salt has penetrated. There is no more salt on the outside of this guy. It's ready to go. I probably should have set this up in the opposite direction so that the hot side was closer to me, but I don't know, I'm not that smart. For this part, we are just going for color. We want a nice crust on the outside, and then we'll check the temp. We're gonna stick an instant read thermometer in there for the second part of the cook so we can cook this to the perfect temp. Lamb can be pretty fatty. And I burned it. All right, perfect. We can just pull off some of that. Hit it with that guy again. A little more dad dust. Back on the grill.
Total time for the searing process was about 7 minutes. That included catching it on fire and fixing it.
I'm gonna say I am pretty happy with that crust. Let's throw a wireless thermometer in there. I'm gonna use the RFX. Just for fun, I'm gonna throw a couple chunks of applewood while this is in there. It's only at about 63. We're gonna wanna pull this off at like 125 because we want like 130, 135 for our final temp Fahrenheit. I'm dropping the bottom vent down to 1 finger and the top vent to the single line. I don't want this to be too hot. I'd like it to kind of come up a little bit slowly. Technically, it's that second line. It's been in there about 14 minutes and the probe is stuck at 72.1 degrees Fahrenheit for a little while here. I know I shouldn't do it, but I'm gonna open it and double check it with my thermopen just to make sure that something isn't going wrong with that probe. It says 118, I'm pulling it. I don't know if my RFX probe is not working properly or what's going on, but this says like 108. I'm gonna put it back. Okay, the probe just changed to 103. I don't know if maybe I didn't have it in there right or I wasn't getting a good connection, but I now have a connection and we're at 103. We're gonna knock out a quick creamy horseradish sauce. To a bowl, add about 1 cup of full fat sour cream, 1/2 of a cup of prepared horseradish. Use as much as you want to get the spice level you are looking for. I like it spicy. I'm kind of the only one who eats this, so this is just for me. To that we are gonna add a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, whatever you want to call it. Teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. To make it lammy, we're gonna add some dill. About a teaspoon of dill. Add a pinch of salt, pinch of black pepper, and a pinch, 2 pinches of dad dust. Give it a taste. Perfect. Stick this in the fridge. We want to take this to 145 final temp, so I think I'll pull this at like 125. It just hit 115, so we got another 10 degrees. And when we take that guy off, we are going to just go ahead and grill up a lemon. 125. Let's get this off.
It took about 30 minutes and the temps were around 350.
Looks beautiful. We're just gonna go ahead and tent this a little bit. Put a little bit of foil, let that rest for about 10 minutes. Okay, folks, we have just about hit that perfect 145 temp. Guy off, it's been resting for a little over 10 minutes. We can pull this guy out. It has done its job. Let's see how we did. Oh, that is perfect lamb. That is smack dab perfect. Please don't yell in the comments that that's raw. That is the temperature you cook lamb to, 145. Good God, that looks fantastic. A little bit of that. I'll be a caveman. First bite, no sauce. Oh man, oh yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Doesn't even need the sauce. Just that hit of the lemon is great, but we made the sauce, we gotta try it. Oh man, oh yeah. Takes it to an absolute another level. Just amazing. That lamb is so perfectly tender, so juicy. The herbs come through, you get the punch of the citrus. I do taste a hint of smoky flavor. I got a little bit of smoke in there with throwing those wood chunks in there. You get that flavor from the charcoal and the juices dripping down on the charcoal and infusing the meat with goodness. Ah, everything about this is perfect. No notes, no changes. Do exactly what I did. Make every mistake I made. I don't know what mistakes I made. I think I made some mistakes. And I burned it, but do those. Doesn't matter what you do. As long as you get to this, you are going to be a happy camper. Happy, happy dad. Oh, maybe a sprinkle of extra salt would just finish it off, but if you're not a big salt person, this is good as it is. I did not like that at all. As always, recipes on dadgotthis.com. Go check it out. That's my website. All my recipes are on there. If there is a recipe for a video that's not on there that you are watching that video, please leave me a comment in the video and let me know that I need to get that recipe up on the website, and I'll do it. If you are enjoying this content, please do the likey, subscribe stuff. YouTube loves it when you leave a like. I love it when you leave a comment. I answer just about every comment in my comment section. If you really want to support this channel, consider becoming a member. You get behind the scenes updates, early access to videos, producer credits, shout outs, all kinds of fun stuff. But if you can't, please just subscribe. It would really help me out. So with all that out of the way, there's only one question left to answer. What do you call a sheep with a machine gun? Rambo. Yeah, pretty bad. Dad may tell horrible dad jokes, cook amazing lamb, but one thing Dad will never do is an outro. So that's it. Bye.
This is the part where I thank all of my members. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much for your support, and rock on. I don't know why I said rock on, but rock on.
Lamb can be pretty fatty. And I burned it.